Hey, what is up guys and girls, my name is Griefdrums, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the data cleanup for the map rotations. Now, as part of Operation Health, the devs have obviously been working on a few bits and bobs behind the scenes, and to cut a long story short, the way that the playlists work on Rainbow Six is changing in the very near future, at the beginning of the next season in fact, which as you probably know has been pushed back to September the 5th instead of August 29th that it was originally planned on. So as I was saying, the map rotations are changing. There's going to be two separate playlists. There is going to be the ranked playlist, which is going to consist of these 9 maps here: Bank, Clubhouse, Oregon, Cafe, Consulate, Chalet, Border, Coastline and Skyscraper. This is to fit in line with the competitive side of the game and the esports side of it, so that the pro players can learn these maps, and they only have to play these maps and can hone their skills on them. They don't have to mess around playing games on Yacht, on Favelas, House and all of the other games that aren't actually in the esports lineup and in the rotation for them. For those of you that aren't aware, when it comes to the Pro League, there are certain maps that the pro players do not play because they are seen to be too biased towards either an attacking or defending team, and as a result they've just been removed from the playlist altogether. House, for example, I think it was due to Garage. As soon as you open up the Garage, it's very, very difficult to defend it, and as a result it was removed from the rotation and it's not in the Pro League. You will not see it in the Pro League. So what they've done is ranked is going to be changing, and you will only get these 9 maps the same as the pro players. This is to aid them, it's to assist them, and it does kind of penalise people because for the longest time, you know, it's been the case that people only really play ranked because they get to choose the site location, for example. You get to choose where you defend, you get to choose where you spawn, and that whole faster round element is a lot nicer to play. Instead, if you want to play the new map, Theme Park, you're going to have to play the casual map rotation. Now, casual is going to be getting a slightly different map playlist, and it's going to reduce the amount of maps that you get in the hope of assisting new players to the game to learn the maps, because obviously there is quite a multitude of maps and more keep getting added in every season. And as a result, new players come along, and we all know map knowledge is huge in this game, and without it, you're going to struggle to get by. So what they're doing is they're reducing the number of maps for casual and they're reducing the number of maps for ranked. So not all of the maps are going to be in rotation at certain times. The casual playlist doesn't actually include Favelas or Yacht. The ranked playlist doesn't include Favelas or Yacht. So it looks like the devs are going to be working behind the scenes on both of these to improve the way that they work and the background data behind it. They're going to rework it with the whole level design team. They do specify in there that not all of the maps that are removed from the casual playlist will be reworked, but some of them will be over the course of the years to come. So the map playlist is going to change between each season. So if there are maps that you want to play, for example Yacht, that doesn't appear in either of these playlists, next season it probably will, and a couple of others like House, for example, will probably get removed from the playlist. One potential downside to all of this is the fact that a lot of high-ranking players may start playing more casual instead of ranked, so that they can play the maps like the new one, Theme Park. And as a result, the new players that have only just joined the game may have to contend with playing against higher-ranking players, because the algorithms that are needed to work out who you're paired against, if you're only unranked and you're level 25, you may be paired up against sort of silvers, golds, who have a lot more knowledge of the map. And I've tended to find that around about that rank, I'm not saying everyone, but there are a lot more people that are toxic and less likely to help these newer players. So this is a bit of a cry and a plea to you guys. When we do get new players, for example on this free weekend, you know, let's try and look after the new players. Let's get them involved. Let's build the community up so that this game is still around in a few years' time. We've still got people playing it, and the more we increase the community and the bigger it gets, the better for us. So let's try and look after them. Let's try and teach them. Let's try and reduce the amount of team killing if someone's reinforcing in some way you don't want. Let's try and work around it, especially if it's in casual. This is certainly going to be a weird season without all of the maps, and I think it could get quite stale if we're not careful. Certainly if you're just playing ranked all the time, you're only going to get 9 maps. And whilst that is great for the pro players, it's not so great for the rest of the community that want to play all of the maps, and they enjoy playing all of the maps and having that variety. So it's going to be interesting to see the effect that this has. They have specified in there that they're quickly approaching the limit of data sizes, and they are reviewing the way that maps are stored. They're going to rework all of that. But as a result, they're planning on removing maps from the game entirely down the road. Now, it's not going to be in Season 3, but in the near future, potentially next season, you know, Season 4, maybe a little bit after that, maps are going to completely disappear from rotation, which is going to be a real shame, because as much as I'm not a huge fan of favelas, I'm not a huge fan of house, they've been in the game since the beginning, so I'd rather see those reworked and adjusted slightly to keep them in the game. But I think they're just going to be doing away with them completely. You know, there can't be an everlasting, you know, pit of maps. That's not really possible. There is only a limited amount of information that can be stored. But I am pretty frustrated by this. It bugs me a little bit. And I know not everyone likes House. I know not everyone likes Yacht and some of the other maps. But I'd hate to see them go. I really would. As much as we are going to be missing certain maps throughout both of these playlists, you will still be able to get a hold of them in custom matches. You're still going to be able to log on to the custom matches and get all of the maps on there. And one thing they have specified is that map preferences, they're actually doing away with PvP map preferences. So you're still going to be able to choose what maps you want to play on Terrorist Hunt. They're still keeping that. But the map preferences, as we all know, doesn't really work. You can have a whole squad turn off favelas, and 5 minutes later you're in a game of bomb on favelas, for example, and it doesn't seem to work. So they're removing that completely for PvP, but they don't have an ETA of when this is going to return. I'd love to hear your thoughts about all of these changes. Please let me know down in the comments below. Let me know if you're happy about certain maps disappearing. Let me know which ones, you know, do you want to keep House in the rotation or do you hate it completely? Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider hitting that thumbs up. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe for all things Rainbow. You can also follow me on Twitter or Facebook and throw me a message on there. Let me know what you think about these changes. But until next time, guys, stay reckless and relentless.